All right, grade one parents. So I'm going to take you guys through how to access your child's Google Classroom. So when you go to the Google page, you should see this sign in button, and you'll be able to put in your child's name. So I'll just add a new person. And when it comes up, you'll see the sign in spot. So it's going to be the first four letters of your child's first name and the first four letters of your child's last name. I've emailed out the access usernames, so if you have any questions or wonderings, you can go to that. So I'm going to just access one of my friends, and it's first four letters, then at sd76.net. So you'll type that in and then hit next. Oh, too many letters. You'll hit next, and then you can put in the password. So the password for every single student is BAT1111. So BAT 1111. So 4 ones. Students will know that and should know that password. Then you'll click next. Once you get to the Google page, then where you're going to access Google Classroom is this waffle. Now, students, normally it will just pop up for them, so they won't know to go to the waffle. So prompt them to go to the waffle, and we call it the waffle because it looks like a waffle, and then you'll find Classroom. Now, they'll be familiar with this icon, so they'll click on Classroom. Then for them, the only classroom that should show up is Mrs. Gale 1G, and they'll say it funny like that because that's how we practice getting into Google Classroom. So they'll click on that, and then the landing page that you'll get to is the stream. So it's just thinking for a second, just a moment. So this is where you'll land. So this is the stream. The reason why you'll want to go to the stream, and we usually go like this, the stream, is this link right here is how to get onto our Google Meet. So whenever there's a time for your child to Google Meet with me, this is the link that you will go on to. It's just there for easy access. But that's the only reason really that you'll need to go onto the stream. This is also where we would post show and tell type things. Then your child will go to classwork, and they'll say it, classwork, because that's how we remember it. And this is where all their learning is going to be posted. So I've organized it by weeks. So each week has a new icon, and then it lists the week and the date. So for the week after Christmas, the January 4th to 8th week, you'll see a new section here. And I'll go through that in a second. But the first thing that you'll see in our row of items is online activities for reinforcement. So if you're looking for your child to do some extra practice with math or with reading, you can click on some of these options. So Mathletics is the one that we're trialing as a district. It's a paid subscription. We've paid for it. So your child just has access to that. So when you click on Mathletics, you can click onto, this is the link for the website, and then over here is a PDF that has access cards for your child. This would be beneficial for you to print if you're using it before the Christmas break. I will be sending with your child some other manipulatives in a Duotang that will have their access card in them. So if you're not planning on doing online learning before Christmas, don't worry about printing this document. But if your QR code, which looks like this, if it gets lost, you can always click on that to print a copy. So then when you go into Mathletics, you can either punch in your child's username and password, which is on their card, or you can click there to activate the camera and then hold up your child's QR code and it'll scan it and let you in. And students know how to do this. We've been practicing this for a long time. So they know how to get into Mathletics. They just might need some help if they run into some trouble. So Mathletics is a place where they can go for any content that we're currently working on. And it would be my #1 choice for math reinforcement activities. If your child is like, I'm done the activities in Mathletics but wants something different, they can go on to Splash Learn, which is something we started at the beginning of the year before we trialed our Mathletics subscription, and the username or class code and password is listed right there. So you can click on this link, it'll take you to Splash Learn. The other one that you can go to is Raz Kids. So both Mathletics, or all three actually, Mathletics, Raz-Kids, and SplashLearn are available on Android and iPad devices. So your child can use those kinds of devices to use these online subscriptions. So when you go to this link, it'll take you to Raz-Kids, and then the only thing that you'll need to know is H. Gale is the teacher name. So when you punch in H. Gale, then your child's name should come up. And then they know that they need to use the bunny rabbit as a way to access their account. Then SplashLearn we've already talked about. So those are the things that you can do for added reinforcement for your child's learning. The other thing is this is how each week is going to be structured. So you'll see the week, the date, and then week 15, the star is always just a little blurb from me to explain what's happening for the week. So if we click into there, it'll give you just brief directions as to what is expected for you or your child to complete in the week. For these weeks that we have going on right now, we have some numeracy slide deck, a literacy slide deck, and then some different slide decks for your child to complete and turn in. So these cat and cow activities, they'll need to turn in. And your child knows how to do that, but I can review that in a minute. The numeracy and literacy ones are things that we would be doing in the classroom as kind of teaching aspects. So I would be teaching these concepts, and they're contained within these slide decks. So if you click on the slide deck, numeracy, for instance, we have our slide deck for the week, where there's some activities that we would work through as a class and some videos perhaps. Then if you go into literacy, this is where you would find some literacy activities for your child to do, and these are organized based on day. So you would click on the day and then complete the activities that are here. And most of them are self-explanatory. Every Monday we would introduce some words, and then there would be a prompt to tell you how they might reinforce those words by working on a whiteboard surface or writing them in different ways. Then there's a story time activity and then a journal activity. The week after Christmas will look very similar with regard to literacy. Then there will likely be another slide deck for health, but that planning is still in the process. So we'll wait to see what that looks like. And then when they go to their cat and cow activities, there's going to be a slide deck that actually belongs to them. They click on that and then they complete the activity based on the prompt that's here. When they're finished that activity and they're ready to turn it in, which is an expectation of the cat and cow activities, is they would click on sight words, then down here where it says view assignment, they click on that, and then they push this turn in button, and it will prompt them to turn in their activity. I won't turn in this person's yet because they're not finished it. Then they can go back to Mrs. Gale, classwork, and then go on to the cow. Again, when they're finished, view assignment and turn in. Yeah, so that's basically where your child will be as far as that last week of, well, it's not only Christmas holidays, but in January. The other place that you can look for what does my child need to do, what things do they need to turn in, you can also go to this view your work button, and that will take you to all of the things that your child has to complete or has been completing over the course of the whole last school year. Do not feel like you need your child to go into these activities. Anything beyond probably this week, the week of December, what are we in? 4th to 8th, 4th to 9th, something like that. Don't do anything before December. So you see here, there's one that says November 27th. Don't go back and have your child complete those activities. Those are things that we've already looked at, assessed, and we're moving on. So if they see something from December 4th, sure, they can go into that and complete that if you'd like. Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions or if your child needs to email me and wants to try that, they can go into People, and if they press this little email button, it can email Mrs. Gale. It will bring up their email, and they can send me an email if they'd like. They can try that if they'd like. And that's about it. So if you have any questions, please email me. and I can walk you through how to use Google Classroom, but this should give you a good start on what that looks like. Thanks.